Hey guys, so this video is going to be a little bit different from my other videos, and I just wanted to address dealing with criticism and imposter syndrome for new developers and just anybody out there putting work out there for others to see and feeling like when you put yourself out there, you're going to get this criticism and feeling paralyzed by that fear. So I recently put out a video where I talked about my first website sale, and I put this video out because I didn't see a lot of content online where people really had an inside look to how something like this might look. So it wasn't just for the sale, it was for people looking for a job and just how to jump into the field and just start something with no experience, or maybe with little experience, but maybe you do have the ability to do research and just put something together. So I put this video together, and for those people that disliked it because of the title and thought it was clickbaity, that's totally fine. I get that. I normally don't like videos like that myself, so they probably didn't see it and just hit dislike. That totally makes sense. And I normally don't address the criticism, but this video had over 157,000 views and mostly positive. 5,006 likes, 104 dislikes, and some very nasty emails and very nasty comments. So some of those comments were people attacking me for the website sales, saying that it was not worth that much, which is funny because they didn't see the website themselves. I just showed one aspect of it, and they said that they can build that in a weekend and it wasn't worth more than $5,000. Other people attacked my tech stack, said I wasn't a real developer, which was funny because I made the product work and I was presenting this thing at conferences to thousands of people at a time. So I was getting these kind of emails, and again, normally I don't pay mind to them, but this leads to that imposter syndrome feeling and what new developers might have to go through. So these kind of people, this is a very specific type of person that leaves you this kind of feedback. So there's the kind of person that probably didn't watch the video and just wanted to critique it. But usually there's those developers that are trying to be developers and can't be successful, or those people that have been working in the industry for maybe 20 years but haven't really achieved any form of success. And seeing somebody that's only spent maybe 2 years in this succeed really gets under their skin, because you're shining a spotlight on something that they have not been able to achieve, and you're making them feel inadequate. So what they'll do is they'll lash out, and the only thing that they can do is attack anybody that's out there doing something. And the reason why I know this is because I've actually worked with certain developers that have been very critical. And it's funny because it's always the ones that are extremely critical of other coders, that laugh at other coders, maybe the famous people like Zuckerberg, and say Zuckerberg wasn't a good developer, and they'll attack these coders that have actually achieved something in their life. And I've often had the chance to work with these people, and once we open up the code and maybe I'll have them work on something and I'll see their code, they're usually, again, these people have 15, 20 years of experience, and then I'll look at their code and they're very poor. Their coding methods are very poor, which kind of makes you think they're critiquing others, but their code themselves is very terrible. So it was kind of funny to me that a bad developer, maybe with years of experience, was so quick to attack, and it made me realize that maybe it's because they're feeling insecure about themselves. And again, probably that developer that's just trying to get in the field but can't do it, and they feel like they just need to lash out on somebody. So the kind of people that are critiquing you, I normally would not worry about. They're usually not anybody that's doing something with their life anyways, or not really going out and achieving something themselves. So this brings me to my next point. And when I was building my software, there was a company that we kind of worked side by side with, and they had this developer who he's the type of guy that when you stand next to him, you feel inadequate as a human being, because he's achieved more things in his lifetime than most of us will ever achieve. And I had the chance to show him my website and my code. And this guy is a chemist, data scientist, a developer. I mean, he's built products like you couldn't imagine. And he's done so much with his life, and he has a chance to look at my website. And as he's looking at it, I start getting into this mode where I start trying to backpedal a little bit. I start feeling insecure because he's looking at my website and I'm saying things like, well, this part's not complete yet. That bug right there, I'm working on that. I'm about to fix it, or I'm about to build in this feature, so this is going to look a lot nicer. And he realizes what I'm doing, and he stops me and he says, Dennis, you've achieved something. You've built a house with a hammer and a nail. But imagine how much more you can do if you had an entire tool belt of tools ready to use. And what he was saying was, it doesn't matter what you use to build it. Your tech stack is not what's important. You made the product work, so go ahead and keep pushing the product and just improve on the tools and how you build it. You need to get your product out there, let people criticize it, because this way you're gonna save money by just releasing it. And it's going to be hell. It's going to suck to have people criticize your product, but you need to do it to get that feedback and put yourself out there. And this was incredible, hearing this from somebody that I thought would critique me right away. This is somebody that had every right to laugh at my code, tell me how bad it was, and made me feel extremely adequate just being next to him. But he actually backs me up and says, you're on the right path, and you just need to improve. But the code, the product itself is working. You did the job. And there's this cool quote that I heard, which is, if you release your beta and you're not utterly mortified by it, you've released too late, which means you need to just go ahead and get your product out there. So with my final point, there's a lot of people that have asked me about when to get started, how to get your product out there. My only advice to you, which is what I said in the video, you just need to go ahead and get started. You need to start working on something. If it's for a job, go knock on someone's door and ask them to intern, or build them up a product and see if they want to work with it. Try to do something to get moving. Don't sit still. You're never going to be fully ready. You just need to get moving. And I've actually sold a product way back in the day. This is about 2014. When I was first building websites, I actually started off with Wix and then moved to WordPress, and that's how I got into HTML and CSS. But my first website ever, I actually sold, and it was a Wix website. There was no beautiful tech stack behind it. I just got the website working. It was for a local industry in my field, or in my local area. And I was able to put up a lot of, or I was able to do really good SEO on the website to where it actually had value, and somebody bought it for $6,000. So I'm not in the business of selling these websites, but that was a perfect example of being resourceful. I didn't know how to code, so I just used Wix to do it. You just need to go ahead and start with something. It doesn't matter on the perfect tech stack. You just need to get something and get moving. So that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, and sorry for deviating from my normal content, but I just wanted to respond to those people that are feeling like they need some encouragement, and just to address that criticism that I was going through.